Hey there, how you doing? I'm just about to give you the selections for Saturday, the 12th of February. First of all, a quick apology. Today's selections ran. The horses ran okay, nothing more than that. But unfortunately, okay isn't good enough to reach a place, and therefore it's a loss. I apologise for the loss. It's been a good last few days, but obviously I hurt when you hurt. I actually put my money on these selections. This is why I'm not advising spending £500 a day. I don't spend £500 a day. I can't afford to spend £500 a day, right? So unfortunately, yes, we've all had a losing day today. I really like Saturday's selections. It's just, I fancy. I will not give selections just for the sake of it, but when you think like, oh, I really fancy these horses. Well, for the first time, I've actually given 2 lucky 15's out, and they are for tomorrow. I've given out a £1 win lucky 15 with £2.50 win singles, and a 50p each way lucky 15 with £1.25 win singles. I shall show you them now. But as I said, very disappointing day today, the Friday the 11th. I haven't updated the profit and loss, but there's a very small return. But I shall update that shortly. Right, on to racing tips for the 12th of February 2022. I'm doing this from memory because I haven't written it down or anything. £1 win lucky 15 and £2.50 win singles. The first one, and I think I found a bit of something here. Bearing in mind that the first 3 selections are all Dan Skelton's, but the first one is Horizon Darnay in the 240 at Warwick. 7.5 out of 10, and that's a 7-2 chance. All these selections are for Paddy Power. I have either found you the extra place races, but of course you'll get the best odds guaranteed anyway. So I have looked for the value. But back to Horizon Darnay. I think I found something with the Skelton and how they seem to get their handicap horses ready, especially the novice hurdlers that haven't run many times. Well, without going through my selections, a while back I picked a horse at Doncaster. The early subscribers may remember it. It booted it 5 lengths clear, and it was never threatened one bit. Harry Skelton made all at Doncaster. Well, I'm not saying this horse is going to make all, not at all. But what it seems like the horse that's being plotted for like a bit of a handicap seems to run a decent race, but then in the next race seems to run with a penalty but get beaten. But it still seems to get a decent handicap mark. And you might think, well, what's he on about? Well, bear with me, and I shall reveal future selections when I pick them via this weight with the Skelton team. But this horse is off a very handy handicap mark of, I believe it's 109. Well, on its first race, it showed a racing post rating of 115. Well, I always like it when a horse has had a racing post rating recently that's a lot higher than its handicap mark. Although its last racing post rating was under that, I've just explained that because of the penalty that it had. I say penalty. I think it was just a penalty for the race rather than because obviously it hasn't won a race. I think it was an age penalty. So giving weight away 11 stone 8. Well, it's a lower weight today, and I'm watching this closely because I really fancy this horse. I've given it as a 7.5 out of 10 because it is a little bit of a competitive. There's only 7 runners, but a little bit of a competitive race. The second horse is Camdonian in the 1 o'clock at Warwick, a 7.5 out of 10 rating, priced at 2 to 1. Well, this horse was second favourite while I was actually studying, and then it's now gone to joint favourite. Personally, I wish I hadn't have had 101 days off, but there might be a legitimate reason. But it ran in a very good race, and to be honest, it was never really put in the race. It was been about 9 lengths by the winner, but there's been plenty of winners in the race. Well, Dan Skelton knows all about novice hurdlers, and this is only run once. And I do really fancy its chances. It's quite a competitive race where there's only 4 runners in it, but all 4 have got a chance. And I think it's very interesting, and I think I wouldn't give it you if I didn't think it was going to win, but I do fancy this horse to win. This third horse is Third Time Lucky in the 205 at Warwick. Sorry, I was just looking at something then. And then that's a 7 out of 10 rating, and it's 13 to 8. Basically, in my opinion, it's got the favourite to beat. The favourite is going to be quite hard to beat, but I really like Harry Skelton as a jockey, and basically for me, it's a 2-horse race. The Alan King favourite, I can't remember it offhand because I've done all the studying already. I haven't written anything down. It's just a 50-50 match, and I'm thinking 13 to 8, half decent price, nice prize money. I want to obviously bring it back to the stable, like most stables would, to be honest. But I do like Third Time Lucky. I think it's got a cracking chance. And finally, in the first Lucky 15, the next selection is Pat's Fancy in the 115 at Newbury. 7.5 out of 10, and that's a 7-2 chance. Well, this horse is kind of, I believe it's something like 10 stone 6. It's ran some crackers at Chepstow. Yeah. Today, it runs off a featherweight. It's up against the horse, I believe it's Brave Man's Hero. It looks a really decent horse, that does, but that horse, it's handicapped right up to its best. Yes, it can show improvement, but there's not a lot of room for manoeuvre. I looked at its form, and that Brave Man's Hero, it always seems to bang a couple. And I'm thinking, if it can lose momentum, this horse off a 10 stone 6, bearing in mind it's nothing wrong, this Pat's Fancy, I think it's a cracking price at 7-2. And I think the favourite is so short, I think it's mainly because it's a bit of a Henderson shot. It's at 5-6, and I'm guessing it's going to the festival, but how many times we've seen Henderson horses get beaten before the festival? Normally, he actually sends them up to Kelso, and they seem to get beaten like it's something daft like 1-14. But I think the Brave Man's Hero could get beaten. I do fancy Pat's Fancy to beat him. So those selections are in a pound win Lucky 15 with £2.50 win singles on each of those. The next bet is a 50p each way Lucky 15 and £1.25 win singles. The first horse is Rio Silver in the 115 at Newbury. 6.5 out of 10. Sorry, I've got the price there. It isn't 130. I haven't updated it. I believe the horse was 33 to 1. Well, this horse, basically, they're paying out on the first 3. There's an odds-on chance. I can't really kick out the first 3. The second favourite should run at half decent race, but there's a place up for grabs amongst 5 horses. Well, this is the stablemate of the favourite, and it's right up there. There's a horse that hasn't ran before, not from a stable that's well known for getting them ready first time. There's a Twiston Davis has got one in it, and it's all much of a muchness. There's one, the horse, I think it's Briar or something, and it hasn't ran for 1,000 days, and it hadn't even shown. It had never been over hurdles. It had only been on national flat. And I think there's so many question marks over that one as well. So I think Rio Silver it'll be held up towards the back. Don't get me wrong. It'll be brought into the race gradually. And I think I believe it's Conor Brace. I can see it on a decent race and picking a lot of selections off. Sorry, a lot of competitors late on. I do think it's got a cracking chance, and I think it could sneak a place. The next horse is Dini Lacey in a 315 at Warwick, a 7.5 out of 10 chance, and it's 6 to 1. This horse was from Ireland, and I've never actually heard of the trainer. But obviously, these Irish can really get them ready for these English races. Robbie Power comes over for the ride, and he comes over for the weekend, but he's actually only got 2 mounts. Well, I'd have thought he might have had more than that because Tizard's got a few runners. But yeah, all weekend, Robbie Power has only got 2 mounts, so surely one of the mounts has got to pay for the trip. I know he's going to get his jockey money anyway, but surely one of them is going to win, and I think it's going to be this one. The next one runs on Sunday, but I don't give tips on Sunday, so it might be worth you having a quick look at that. The third horse is First Street in the 335 at Newbury. 7.5 out of 10, and that's a 12 to 1 chance. This is also a second string, but this absolutely dotted up first time after a wind operation on soft ground, and I think it will prefer the better ground today. It's one of Henderson's, it's in a decent race, and it's an extra place race. I think it's got a cracking chance. It's got not done anything wrong since. And normally, I prefer it if they've had a run. Sorry, I always expect them to need to improve. Sorry, how do I say this? It had a wind operation, and I always expect them to improve for the run. So, if that's the case still, it actually won last time, showed its best ever racing post rating by far. There's still improvement in it. It's a cracking price at 12-1. I think you're going to see a horse that's going to really travel well all the way around. And Newbury, nice, easy galloping track. I think it'll suit the Henderson horse. And bear in mind, Henderson has got the favour, but how many times have you seen a Henderson big price winner beating its stablemate? It does happen. Now, I really fancy this horse. Finally, my Moonstar in the 4:45 at Newbury, 7 out of 10, and it's a 12-1 chance. This race is packed full of previous winners. The problem with being a previous winner is they've got a previous winner's penalty. It's going to make life so much harder next time, which is now in the 4:45. So a lot of them are going to be up against it. Yeah, it's great. They've all like won first time out or second time out, but they've all carrying penalties. Well, my Moonstar has got a Racing Post rating as high as or higher than some of those with the penalty. But because my Moonstar hasn't won before, it doesn't carry the penalty, and it's receiving weight from an awful lot of them. Price at 12-1. I believe this is an extra place race. Just check, but regardless whether it is or not, I still fancy it. But I believe it can run in the first four rather than the regular first three. But you must put it on with Paddy Power, unless you want to shop around and see what else other bookies are offering. Well, those are my selections for Saturday, the 12th of February. If there are selections, I know it's been quite a long winter today, but if there are selections that you fancy, do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Just let me know in the comments. It's not a problem. Let me know how annoyed you are after today. I can understand it. Give me some feedback. If you could do, I'd appreciate it. Could you like the video? Could you share it on your Twitter? Just there's a share button below, just against the. I think it's near the subscribe button. Click on it, paste it into Twitter, into Facebook, into. Are you on Telegram? Personally, I'm not on Telegram. Maybe you can't do it on Telegram, but put it on Instagram. I don't know. Do what you can, please, to help me. Together, we've got we've got 26 subscribers in total. And that might not mean much, but we've not been going that long. It's like, I think I'm adding 1 or 2 a day at the moment. It doesn't seem much because all these other channels have got thousands. Well, let's get it up to that. Come on. So the very best of luck tomorrow. Have a cracking Saturday. I don't know if you like to have a few pints with your bets or what, or whether you go to the bookies or what. Enjoy yourselves. I'll just let you know, there'll be no selections Sunday. I do not give selections on a Sunday. Or should I say, it's very rare. Enjoy it with your family. Regarding cash outs, which people have spoke to me about, if the first 2 or 3 win, do not be ashamed of cashing out or partial cashing out. It's about taking the profit, yeah? I will never declare my returns on something that I might have cashed out. I don't normally cash out, but there's nothing wrong with it, yeah? If the first 2 win at decent prices, yeah, don't get wrong. If it's offering me 150 quid when I could win 20,000, I'm going to probably take a partial cash out. Let's say take 75. It's paid for a day. You've maybe got a Chinese paid for at night. Ka-ching. You know what I mean? So that's a bit long-winded today. I'm more than likely you haven't stopped till the 14th minute. If you have, give me a like or even give me a comment. Just say, yeah, Sean. Sean. Oh, it's doing my head in. Sorry, that's me made to work again. I normally talk to him just before I get online about a few selections. And he actually fancies some of these and all. So anyway, that's it from me. Charlie Winters, over and done. Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye.